What up you guys, this is your boy Color Rains FX, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw a support and resistance. So take your pen and write this shit up. What up you guys, this is your boy Color Rains FX and welcome back. So about support and resistances, right? So the first thing that you want to do is come and define a support and a resistance. So let me just go right there on a clean fresh page. Let me just move right there up, right? So let's we're gonna have to write support right here. We have to write support to the right, sorry, to the left, support to the left. Then we have to write resistance to the right, right? Support to the left and resistance to the right. Let me write resistance, right? So we're going to define support to the left, and we're going to define resistance. What is the support and what is the resistance? Under support, so a support is an area. It is an area or a line where buyers are in control of the market, right? Buyers will be in control of the market at a support, right? Buyers are in control, so the price will be low, right? Buyers will be present at a support. More buyers are present in the market at a support, right? They're looking to be buying when the price is low, right? It is also called an area of demand. A support is also called an area of demand. Like the price will be low, so in other words, buyers will be targeting low prices, right? The key word at a support, or the key thing, is to buy, right? You want to be buying at a support. You don't want to be selling at a support. You want to be buying at a support. Why? Because the price is lower, right? You buy and expect the price to go up so that you make profit, right? You buy when the price is low and expect the price to go up so that you make profit. Now let's go to resistance, right? So a resistance is actually the opposite of a support. So under resistance, it is an area where sellers, it's an area or line where sellers are in control of the market, right? Or line where sellers are in control of the market, right? So at a resistance, they are sellers, just like the opposite of a support. At a support, they are buyers, and at a resistance, they are sellers, right? So it is called a resistance. It is called an area of supply. Let me just write that one. It is called an area of supply. Like I said, a resistance is the opposite of a support, right? So if a resistance is to the right, a support is actually to the left, right? So it is called an area of supply, right? And the key word at a resistance is to sell. So the key word is sell. You want to be selling at a resistance, right? Because sellers are in control at a resistance, right? You want to be selling and expect the price to go down, right? So let me just move right there and draw a support and a resistance. Let me start by drawing a resistance. Let me draw a line, and I'm gonna call that line a resistance. Then I'm gonna draw a support right down, and I'm gonna call that line a support, right? I'm gonna call the line a support, right? And this is my resistance. So let me write resistance. I'm gonna label that line resistance, then resistance, then I'm gonna label that line as support, right? I'm gonna label, let me just change the color to red, right? Let me just change the whole line to red. Let me just change the whole line to red. Right. So let me just text the resistance. So the line is a resistance, right? Sorry, it's called a support. The bottom line is called a support, and the upper line is called a resistance, right? And the middle part, the area between a support and a resistance, the area between a support and a resistance is actually called a range. It's called a range. Let me write a range, right? A range. So when you draw a support and a resistance, the area between that is called a range, right? Like I said, resistance is up and support is down, right? So in other words, the resistance is the ceiling. It's a ceiling, right? It's a ceiling. The resistance is a ceiling. Take it for example, in a room, the resistance is a ceiling, then the support is the support. Now let me just change the color to white and right, sorry, blue, right, sorry, I wanted to text to write to white, sorry, my bad. Whoa, what am I doing? All right, let me change the color to white, right? Let's write ceiling. So in a room, the ceiling is called the resistance, then the support now is called the floor, right? The support is called the floor. So the resistance is the ceiling and the support is floor. So the resistance is up and the support is down, right? The resistance is up and the support is down. It's the floor, right? Or the slab or the concrete, whatever you want to call it, but just know that the resistance is down. Let me just remove all the drawings and now go to the charts and draw the support and resistances, right? And identify the areas of supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. I call them support and resistance, some call them area of supply and demand. So let me choose right there. By the way, this is the 30-minute time frame. You want to be drawing your support and resistance at a higher time frame, right? You want to be drawing your support and resistance at a higher time frame. So you first thing, you identify the areas like where price is touching the most, right? You identify the price where price is touching the most. You go from the left to the right, right? You start from the left to the right. You look from the left to the right. So now you look at where price is touching the most, or price is respecting, like a wall. So I've got you mark these areas. I've got this area that I'm gonna mark. Sorry, let me just change the font to white again. And I've got also these areas. So once you draw once you mark the areas, you then connect the dots, right? I'm gonna call them the dots. So you connect the dots and you draw a line just like that, like so. You draw a line connecting all the dots, right? And so that is our resistance. Let me just now draw the support. So first thing, you find the dots or the areas where price is touching the most, here and there, and another one there. And I'm gonna find the average or the median line, and which is right there, like so. So that is how you draw your support and resistance. You find the dots, you connect them, then you move. Let me just find another one, the second support and resistance, right? Let me just move right there. I think I just found an area where I can draw a support and resistance. So right there, perfect, right? So the first thing, like I said, you wanna be marking your points, right? Let me just take a mark. So you start from the left going to the right, right? Like we said. So you take out your pencil, then you start marking the areas. Sorry, my bad. Let me just remove that. So you take out your pencil, then you mark out these areas. My bad. What is my pencil doing? All right, like that. I just want to choose the brush, right? Let me choose the brush, right? So you want to be marking the areas. So I'm gonna mark that area right there. Then I'm gonna choose another one which is right there. Let me just reduce it to down there. Then another one which is actually on the line. Then what you want to do is now connect the dots, right? Let me draw another line there, connecting the dots. And now you take a ruler. It's like taking a ruler that you underline, you now connect the 3 dots. So that is your resistance, right? That is your resistance. Now let's draw the support. I've got this area marked right there, this area marked right there, this area, another area here, and another area to the right here, more to the right here, and actually I have the last one which is here. Now you want to be connecting the dots. You take your ruler, then you underline, right? You can clearly see how price has been rejecting or respecting these areas, or price has been touching these areas. So let me just label that right there. That is my support, right? That is my support. Support is always at the down side, and resistance, let me label my resistance. That is my resistance, right? And you can clearly see that price has been touching these areas. Even if you go further to the left, you see that price will be touching these areas again and again and again. Let me just draw another range. Let me take out my brush, and perfect. Here I'm gonna choose here, and here. Again, that is a perfect resistance, right? I'm going to draw here, 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 and here, right? Actually, there's actually more to the left. I'm going to choose, let me take out my brush here, and another one here, right? And is there more? Let me just check, right? Okay. I actually have more here, the last one. Let me just choose the last one, which is right here. Now it's time to connect the dots, right? That is always how you must draw your support and resistances, right? You connect the dots and you come up with a line. That is a ruler, right? You connect the dots, then you come up with a line, and you can see that the price is respecting this area. So that is what you call an area of resistance or supply. So let us draw another one, right? Let me just find for another one. By the way, this is the chart of gold USD, another one which is right here. You take you find the dots, the areas here, and the other one here. Then you go to the left. Let me just go to the left. I can see more. Let me take out my brush. Take out here, this area, another one which is here, and the last one which is kind of here. Yeah, it's actually here. Then you take your ruler, then you draw your line. You just put out the average line, right? You just put out the average line. Let me just adjust my line a little bit to here, like so. So that is how you identify your resistances, right? It doesn't have to be one area. It has to be many areas that price is been touching, right? It has to be, even if you change the time frame to 1 hour. Let me change my time frame to 1 hour. You can see that price is touching these areas a lot of times. So that is how you draw your support and resistances, or you find a strong support and a strong resistance, right? Let me just draw another one, right? The last one. We're gonna label here. We go to the right here, another one here, and yeah, there. Sorry, let me just delete that one, right? So let me go further and see if price like so. Perfect. I think these ones are good, right? These ones are good. I take my ruler, I find the middle part of all the lines, the median part of all the lines, right? Connecting all the dots together. Let me adjust my resistance or my support. It's actually support to there, to right there, right? To right there. And perfect. So that is actually how you draw your support and resistances. Is there another one? Okay, let me just draw the last one. I'm gonna call it the bonus one here, the points. Another one which is here, another one which is here. Can you draw another one? Can you put another? Let's put another one there, right? And right, perfect. Let me take out my ruler and find the median part, which is right there. Even if you go furthermore to the left, you can see that these areas will be respected. And remember, chat, the keyword is to use the higher time frames when drawing the resistance. You want to be using the higher time frames when drawing the resistances. And that is how you draw your support and your resistance, or how you identify your support or your resistance, aka area of supply and area of demand. Just to let you know that we do live breakdowns and analysis during the London session. I'll be trading gold and synthetics. By the way, synthetic indices are offered by the broker Deriv. I'm gonna leave a link in my description if you want to open an account.